you should mention John Keel. I'm sure, as you know, about the Point Pleasant, the Mothman in Point Pleasant, West Virginia in the 60s. All sorts of strange things occurred when John Keel investigated that case. I mean, it was not just UFO sightings, but it was encounters with men in black, strange cryptoid creatures, and even poltergeist encounters. So, do you know around the same time people saw these grays and you know, the UFOs? Do you know if people had reports having seen strange cryptoid creatures? Maybe the Loch Ness monsters, perhaps, or perhaps poltergeist sightings, or maybe even encounters with the men in black?
Well, the MIB sort of police are there, very strange police. I mean, I've met them myself, and they're very bizarre people. They have no local knowledge. So if you meet a policeman who has nothing, he knows nothing about being a policeman, but he's dressed in a crisp uniform. This is one of the giveaways. The guy in the Norfolk that I was investigating would meet hunters, and I actually met them myself. And they're wearing crazy hunting clothes, which are completely unused. Everything's brilliantly clean, and they have no cultural norms, so they don't know how to talk to you. And what we tend to find, I know it sounds comical, you get one talker at the front, who's an MIB, and then his friend who's just watching, and they keep looking at each other before. Now, this is exactly how the 50s ones were. I mean, apparently one tried to drink a jelly once, you know, in an American diner. He actually tried to drink the jelly and choked on it, because they had no. So I think that yes, there is sort of undercurrent of paranormal. There's a guy called Ivan T. Sanderson, who was a great researcher, who had a magazine out called Pursuit in the 60s and 70s. And what his description of all these multiplicity of things, he said, if you leave a window open in your house, you'll get bats, burglars, insects, every sort of thing coming through, birds. None of them are related, they're just using the portal of your window. So when you see this Keel thing, and this is what skinwalker people, I'm sure tomorrow, they get all these strange, like ancient wolves and strange looking creatures, giant birds and thunderbirds and all this stuff, but it's because the door or the window is open and everything is coming through. So that's where I work from. So, but I think your John Keel, people are very pro John Keel. He's like one of those authors who's long after his death seems to be still very well revered. So you're right to bring him up. But I think, I'm trying to think what the guys told me. They certainly talked about, just trying to think, there's some sort of sinister stuff that goes on. So the classic would be a humanoid who wants to follow you home, and he wants to sort of live with you. I mean, this is stuff that's new, but weird, and it would come up in discussion. They'd say, well, this humanoid, he kept trying to follow us, and he'd want to come and they'd say, go away. You know, this is like a strange kind of, not a very nice looking grey type thing. And they'd be aware of it, so they'd intermittently see it. You've got to remember, it's not like you or I. So you see it momentarily, then it's gone. I've had that experience myself, where you just look at something, it's there for 3 or 4 seconds, then it's gone again. But you're right, there should be a cluster of paranormals. These are like paranormal hotspots, so you're spot on. That is what you should be looking for. Same with crop circles, that happens. All right, so just pass on to the next guy.